Hey everybody, it's Tracy here. I'm just gonna try and do a tutorial for you all on the hidden hinge binding system. I know there's several of them out there because I learned how to do them years ago. But when I was making my book 4 of 5 for my coworkers, I realized that it was being very difficult for me. And so I shared in one of my craft groups over on Facebook that I actually was able to complete it. And a couple ladies wanted to know how to do the hidden hinge. So I kind of went ahead and decided I would do one for them. Also upon my husband's suggestion to do more tutorials on YouTube. So you'll have to bear with me because I'm on day 8 of 9 at work, and it's almost 11 o'clock at night where I'm at. I just got home about a half an hour ago. So this particular hidden hinge is on 5-inch spine. Obviously you can see I've just not gotten very far in my book. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. I'm not going to make another of this book, but I'll show you the basics of it, and hopefully you all will understand it. If not, you can always, message me or comment or whatever. So for this particular hinge, you needed 2 pieces of cardstock that were 7 5/8 by 11 inches. And you're going to take one of them and turn it on the 11-inch side. And you're going to start out at the 1.5-inch mark, and you're going to score it. And then you're going to score at the 2-inch mark, 2.5, 3, oops, almost did that wrong, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, and 9, and 9.5. That's just on the first piece of paper. Now, I'm not sure if you can see those score lines, but it starts out, like I said, at the 1.5-inch mark, and you score every 1/2 inch up to 9 inches, 9.5 inches on the first piece of paper. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your score tape, and on that last 1.5-inch mark from 9.5 to 11, you're going to attach score tape on there. This is really fun to do because I decided to slam my thumb into a cash drawer at work tonight, and so I have a blood blister, and it makes it even better that I'm left-handed and it's on my left thumb. So go ahead and I forgot my tweezers in the other room. Peel that off of there. I had planned on doing this video this morning, but I was afraid I'd be too loud in my craft room, and my husband was sleeping for work. So once you get the score tape on there, you're going to take your other piece of 7 5/8 by 11, and you're going to butt it up to that last score mark. Don't put it right on it because you want to be able to have some bend. And my lighting is really horrible. Oops. Hopefully. Okay, I did not cut very well. So, I don't know what happened here. There's an extra gap here, and my trimmer is in the other room. But it will still work because this is just a tutorial, and you could just trim that up. Depending on what book size you have, excuse me. Okay, so, and excuse me 1 second. Okay, had to get a pen. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, you would normally want to use a pencil for this, but this was the closest writing utensil. So 1, 2, 3, this would be for page 1. And then 1, 2, 3, this is page 2. This book has 9 pages in it total. You don't need to do this part, but this part here is helpful for knowing where you need to fold and seal your pages, or your hinges together, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, this is page 4. 1, 2, 3, this is page 5. So I'm gonna set that down. So then, you don't have to, on your second page, you don't have to start at 1.5 mark, but what you want to do is you want to have 1, 2, 3, and then your page number. 1, 2, 3, and your page number, all the way up into, for the example for this book, 9 pages. Just make sure that your score mark, your last score mark, is on a 1/2 inch mark, because you want 1/2 inch spacing. This one you might have to double score, just because that's where you attach your papers together. Okay, so you're gonna just keep going 1/2 inch marks until you get up to 9 pages. Actually, just a little over 9 pages. And I'll show you why here in a second. Let me get a few more score marks in here and see where we're at. Okay, whoops. So 1, 2, 3, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, that's 7. 1, 2, 3, that's 8. I gotta do a couple more. Just do 2 more after that. I don't know why I said there was 9 pages. Well, there is. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Excuse me. So after you get to number 8, you're going to do just 2 more 1/2 inch score marks. And then, so you're done with your scoreboard. And then you're going to take your trimmer. This was the way that Laura had explained it. I'm sure there's a lot easier way to do that, because you really don't need all this extra. But you're going to put that last score mark on your 1.5 inch mark on your trimmer. And I can cut that extra off. See, I thought I left it in the other room. This is what 9 days does to you. Make sure it's on the 1.5 inch mark here, because you want a 1.5 inch gap on either end. So this is just extra for whatever. So you have a 1.5 inch here and 1.5 inch here, and I got to trim that off because it will drive me nuts. I don't know how I did that. Anything is possible. Okay. So now you have all these score marks here. And like I said, this isn't your page number. This is your page. These two here, the 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. That's going to be your hinge for each of your pages. This, what I marked in between, is your spacing between your pages. So I don't know if you can see that, but so it says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 all the way across the bottom. The 1 and 2, again, like I said, is going to be your hinge. And then this first one is just the spacing. So we're going to end up with this. So this here is your 1 and 2. This is your 1. This is 1 and 2. This is your 2. I hope that makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I do need my scoreboard again. Possibly. I mean, you should use your scoreboard. So we want to start out at this end here, the beginning of that first one. And everybody does it a little differently. I like to fold the center of the hinge. Okay. And then, what is that? I forget what they call it. But use this thing, whatever it is, your bone folder. Gosh, I cannot talk. Burnish it. Burnish it. That's what it's called. Okay. So, make sure that you're going to burnish all the folds. I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am so just exhausted right now. Okay, and then you're going to take that and fold it this way. And this is where I was having problems. My first one is because it wasn't wanting to fold. So see, this is what you're going to end up. This is your 1 and your 2. Okay? Then you're going to go to the next one. You're going to skip the 3 and you're going to go to your 1 and 2 again. I like to just burnish it with my fingernails because I'm weird that way. And then fold it both ways to where it makes that crease like that hinge, okay? You're going to skip number 3 and you're going to go to 1 and 2 again. And then fold it to the left and to the right. Okay? So you're going to do that all the way to the end so that you have 9 little hinges for if you're going to do this particular book. Okay? So again, the one part that was the hardest for me was where we attached the 2 sheets together. And the only reason why we had to attach 2 sheets together is because of how big the spine is. I'm sure there might be an easier tutorial out there, but Laura's tutorials are pretty amazing anyways. So I just kind of went with that. I think the other one that I learned from was, I believe it was My Sister Scrapper, or it might have been Follow the Paper Trail. Ginger with My Sister Scrapper, or Laura Dennison over there on Follow the Paper Trail. Okay, so this is where where we attach 2 pieces of paper together. So that one's going to be the super, super fun one. Make sure that, I mean, you don't have to use score tape. You can use your liquid glue or whatever. Whatever your adhesive of choice is. I was trying to fold it the way that she showed, and it just made it so difficult for me. I don't know why. It shouldn't have been, but it was. Okay, so we're almost to the end. Hopefully this video isn't too long for you all. I know some people get a little frustrated with the longer videos. Okay, we're having a bit of an issue here, Tracy. Sorry if I'm talking to myself. I tend to do that. Sometimes you get better answers, right? Okay, oops. So fold to the left. Thank goodness this one isn't going in my book. And fold to the right. That hinge got, I don't know what's going on with that hinge. It's not cooperating. Sorry if that was loud. That was me just throwing my bone folder. I don't know why I did that, but okay, we've got a couple more here. Fold to the left, fold to the right, and then the last one. You probably should like whatever burn. Oh my God, I can't think of that. Burnish. Why can I not think of that word? Okay. So now you have those to where it should look like this. Okay. Then you're going to flip it over. All right. And you're going to take your score tape or whatever your adhesive of choice is, and you're going to put it inside all of those little gussets once you find the end of your score tape. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to create that hinge. Sorry, I don't know how to fast forward my videos very well, so you'd think after 9 years of YouTube, you'd know what you were doing. But anyways, okay, so I'm just going to do a couple on here because I really don't need another hinge right now. Okay, and just make sure that you line it up really well and seal it, and then you could burnish it if you need to. And what it's going to do is it's going to create the hinges, but then it's also going to make the back of this flat for placing in your book. Okay. All right, so I've created 2 hinges here, and they are sealed, okay? And then it does make it flat here. So I suppose I could show you this way. Let me do a couple more so I can kind of show you what the next step is. My other one that I just showed you is already attached to the book. So I can't really, I can kind of explain it. Oh, that did not. There we go. So just take it like this and make sure that the edges line up. Okay. And then you're going to do the same with the next one. And I've made smaller ones of this. I've made all kinds of different books. Again, so just take them together. Make sure that you seal them. Okay. And then every once in a while you will need to make sure that you burnish it, okay? Because you want this part here to be flat for when you put it in your book. Okay, so that's what it should look like. It's all flat. And yes, these do lay down here, but once you put it in your book, you can just stand them back up. Okay, and then when you put them in your book, you're going to make sure that you burnish this part down, okay? Getting a little ahead there. I'm sorry, it's late. So then, well, heck, let me just finish this. It's actually going a lot smoother this time, so, which I'm glad, because then you guys can see how it's done. Okay. And I guess I'll just have this for another book. You could cut it down in length. So if you need a smaller book this way, I don't know that I'll be able to cut this down once it's all the pages are sealed together, but I could cut it this way for a smaller book. And I still have one more book to make for coworkers. I think, so again, just seal them together. Make sure they're tight. Oops. I just kind of came home and just grabbed all my stuff. I should have planned this out a little bit better, but I had to come home and deal with the fur animals, the fur kids, I mean, whatever. And it was funny because I was home for a good, I don't know, 15 minutes before the littlest one even knew that I was home. And she was staring at me when I pulled up into the driveway. Oh, this is the one that I had issues with the crease. The folding. Not full, yeah, whatever, scoring. I cannot even talk. So that one might be a little issue, but two more here. Be really handy to have those tweezers when you're pulling that score tape backing off. I found my pair of tweezers at the Sally Beauty Supply. Okay, one more to go. Getting a little bit long, but I guess they should be kind of long when they're tutorials. You could fast forward yourself through it, and then you don't have to listen to me yammer on, I suppose. Okay, so that's what we have, okay? Obviously, this is where I had the issue earlier, okay, with my spacing and whatnot. But if you fold the other side like you should, then it's not usually an issue, okay? And then you're just gonna stand those up. Yeah, that gap is a little big right there. And I even scored it correctly. So then this is your back side. This is the side that will go on the spine of your book. And it should look like that, even spacing. Then you're gonna take your score tape or your adhesive, what of choice, and you're gonna make sure that you cover the whole back because you want it to stick in that book really well and not pull out when you take the pages out, okay? Because that would be horrible. Okay, so then you would just like that. Obviously, you would need a lot more adhesive. Then what you were gonna do is you're gonna take this piece and you're gonna, you can't see because I've covered it now, but you would center it in the spine of your book, eyeball it or however, and then you would just take that off of there and stick it down, and then you put your pages over top of it, your outer pages. So there's that part. Now, to add your pages onto here, hopefully I'll be quick about it. I guess I would have to do a different tutorial, but there is a tutorial for this book. So this is my page. This is, I forget what size it is. It is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. And what you have to do is you take 2 pieces of paper to build this. One piece is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. The other one is 8 3/4 by 7 3/4, because you have to be able to create this here. And what you do is you would take the 8 3/4 page and score it at a 1/2 inch on either end and fold it over to make this pocket. And then you would attach a 7 3/4 on top of it. I don't have one with me. It's in the other room. And you're going to put score tape on both sides of this here. I'm not going to attach it right now because I don't want to screw it up. But you would pull the score tape off, and then you would just take your page and slip it right over that hinge and squeeze it shut, and then you have a page. And it's that simple. So I hope this tutorial was pretty easy to follow. If not, definitely let me know. And once this book is complete, which hopefully should be by the end of this week, beginning of next week, because she's going on maternity leave a little earlier than we had expected, I will share a video with this as well. So thanks for following and commenting. Please definitely leave any comments or questions or whatever. And thanks for subscribing. And you all have a fabulous evening. Bye.